We camp near Dekla and we're leaving very early in the morning. We have a difficult day ahead of us, getting through the Morocco-Mauritania border. The border crossing is very chaotic on both sides, as we expected it, but unfortunately we can't film it. We're entering Mauritania. The Sahara Desert is dominating everything. Everywhere we look is just sand and incredible poverty. Nadibou is the first town that we see in Mauritania, and we understand it immediately why people call it the dirtiest town of Africa. We are leaving this incredibly poor town, headed for our camp in the desert. Although it's finally warm, the strong wind is blowing sand everywhere, so it's not actually a pleasant place to be. We're setting up camp next to the dunes and preparing for the next day, which we were told would be one of the hardest sections of the rally. During the whole night, we are protected by the Mauritanian military from all sides. Already in the early morning, we realized that we'll have a tough job ahead of us that day. The GPS coordinates are leading us through long, soft, sandy sections. There are no roads, just some tracks, but we can't tell if they are part of a route or perhaps they are just the tire marks of a previous rally team from that morning. Unfortunately, the Discovery with Marc and Thomas in our convoy loses its drive shaft, so they have to turn back and continue on the tarmac roads to the capital, Nouakchott.
Nem hallottam. Ez is. Nem sok út van erre.
Hát nem.
Our progress is pathetic. We have about 400 miles ahead of us, and all of it through very difficult terrain.
Yes.
This section used to be part of the Paris-Dakar rally, so it's very special to be driving through here. However, we're just not making any progress. We're still hundreds of miles away from our designated overnight camp. The train on Mauritania's only railway is one of the longest in the world. It transports iron ore from the mines in the middle of the country to the port in Nadibou. We're not only using these railway tracks to check whether we are headed the right way, but we're also using it as a road several times today. So we've been making really bad progress all day, and the terrain is just not getting any easier. We probably only completed half of the stage by now. This is getting worrying because the organizers emphasized that setting up camp somewhere in the desert and not in the designated camp area can be quite dangerous. The Mauritanian army is still escorting the rally, but they're also headed for the actual camp. Our 3-4 weeker convoy definitely doesn't want to camp alone.
Átmentél a vezetőt.
The scenery is amazing all day long, but we're trying to stop fewer times and aiming to get closer to the camp. Still, the desert is just not helping us at all. One of our biggest problems is that we're running really low on fuel. We used up all the diesel in our jerrycans as well. Finally, after leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning, we arrive in the camp at around 3 a.m. We do the last few miles with a totally empty fuel tank, even though we received plenty from our friends during the day. This day was just an unforgettable adventure.
Shall live on forever.